Welcome to the Seven Figure Leaders podcast. This podcast was created to celebrate the success stories of seven-figure business owners, giving them a platform to share their insights and lessons learned in order to inspire other business owners. As well as that, it's an opportunity to build new connections. So if you're a seven-figure business owner or someone who works with seven-figure business owners and you're looking for introductions to potential stakeholders, strategic partners and clients, I'd love to hear from you or have you on as a guest and see if I can help make those connections for you. Just go to synergycfosolutions.co. That's synergycfosolutions.co and click podcast. And there you'll find the link to apply. Welcome. And today we've got Neil Fagelman from Merco Facilities Management. Welcome, Neil.
Thank you. Good morning.
Pleasure to have you on as a guest. So you acquired Merco back in 2022.
Yep.
So I'd love to get a bit of an understanding of, firstly, how you got into doing the acquisition and kind of the journey you've been on, what got you to that point, and then where you've been since then.
So I went to Salford Uni. I'm actually born in Salford, went to school in Salford, uni in Salford, and now my offices are in Salford. So I really haven't moved very far. No, I originally started off in accountancy, did it for 3 years, realised wasn't for me. I got offered a role as ops manager in Merco, 8+ years now. So I was ops manager. By the time whether 5-6 years came about, I was basically running it for the director. The director had other avenues of income, which were doing a lot better. And especially within a service industry where you need a director pushing the business. And I was pushing the business to a certain element, but realizing that at the end of the day, most of the money and the value of the business is just going into his back pocket. And he turned to me nearly 3 years ago and asked me if I wanted to buy it. So I did. And November 22, I bought it. December 22, we moved out of their offices to our own offices. We moved out with one area manager and an admin person, and now we have a social media marketing person, an accounts person, and another area manager. So yeah.
Okay. So you've grown the team, and then the people that actually do the cleaning work, are they contractors?
No, so we employ all of them. So I've got a PAYE of 100+ cleaners, paid monthly, and all on the books, as they say.
Okay, so how many employees have you got in total then?
Just over 100.
Just over 100, okay.
Yeah.
And okay, so since you acquired the business, obviously you went from being director of ops to all of a sudden owning the business and being the one responsible for making that payroll number every month. What was that transition like, going from director of ops where, okay, maybe you had a bit of skin in the game, but not really, the buck didn't stop with you entirely?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was lots of pressure, not having the person above me to push that pressure onto. But in truth, I'm that type of person. I like to learn new things, dig deep. And I was pretty much involved from finances, VAT return to payments to P&Ls and balance sheet, and basically making the decisions of the business, even when I was ops manager. And yeah, it was just there was pressure. It all came on top of me. What we were going to go down, what path we were going to go down to grow the business. Since then, I have made a couple of mistakes. Can't say it's all been dandy. And yeah, it was just also financial. The biggest one was financial pressure. I do invoice factoring, which makes life a lot easier. It does cost me, and obviously in the future I do want to get out of it. But that gives me the peace of mind to pay the wages each month.
Yeah.
So that does ease. It is a financial burden on the company, as in I would love not to have to pay that premium. But for now, it whilst we're still nearly there, but paying off, and also financially, just getting ourselves to the financial position where I don't need the factoring would be lovely. and it does seem like it is there in the near future.
Yeah. So you talked about you made some financial mistakes. Perhaps we can dive into what some of those were. Feel free to share whatever you want to, or you don't have to share it all, but whatever.
No, financial mistakes I did at one point. I'm not sure why, a bit of people telling me and a bit of a feeling rather than, and it wasn't, I took another office next door for the director's office. This was only after like 6 months. I thought, like, you know what, let's get out of there. I need to really have my head fixed, not being disturbed and that sort of thing. And I took a lease on, it wasn't crazy, but took a lease for a year. I hated it.
Do you mean just being separate to
Being separate, I hated it. And within a couple of months, I was back in the main office with everybody. And also, I feel also that to a certain element, it's a bit of old-fashioned a protocol to be basically a director in his own office and not knowing your team, not really have, you know what I mean? As a director nowadays, you've got to really put your effort into your management team, be around, listen and join in really. And yeah, so I moved back out and we used that room for board meetings, this and that sort of thing. I'd also invested in, we went down Airbnb cleaning. Was doing quite well in it actually. I think our record was about 80 cleans in 1 month.
Wow. And why did you get into that? Is that like a more profitable business than your main business?
It looked like a really good avenue, and we partnered with a big company to do. They had a lot of properties in and around Manchester that we could do them. And I soon realised after about 6 months, where we probably a year actually, we were making a lot of money, but the stress levels were just too high. Most of the work is weekend work. Most of it is, in my eyes, it's B2C. So even though I'm billing a B, it's just a whole different ball game. Very time constrained, and it wasn't enjoyable. It was making money, but it just wasn't enjoyable. And I basically sacked it off. And it was the best thing I ever did. Right. Even though I was turning over, looking at 10K, 12K in my peak.
Yeah. From the Airbnb stuff.
Yeah, just from Airbnb, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we realised it wasn't right for us, and we changed direction.
So your focus is commercial cleaning? Commercial
contract cleaning predominantly. Even one-offs, not a fan of them. Ended tenancies, not a fan of them. You add value to a company when you're signing up contracts, long-term relationships and that sort of thing. That's what we aim for.
Yeah.
It's very easy in the industry to get taken off track to do exciting end of build cleans that are a few £1,000s and other facilities management in inverted commas that have bigger profit margins. But the end of the day is I much prefer the contract work where it's a same invoice on a monthly basis, and you build a relationship with them as well. It's important. We've had schools now for 10 years. I've had contracts since Merco started, and we've still got them. And that's what I like.
Yeah. And it's recurring revenue. So it's probably a lot easier because you're not having to go out and find new business all the time.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. And so obviously you're now the MD of the business.
Yeah.
What is your day-to-day role? What are you doing every day?
Good question. I've actually had, I'll be honest with you, I've had a couple of weeks where everyone says like, you've got to build a team in front of you that can manage the team. So I don't really have anything to do with the cleaners and the supervisors.
Yeah.
But I do have 5 people in the office that I've got to manage.
Yeah.
So it's sitting down to having the weekly meetings, doing one-to-ones with them, checking in that they're okay, they've got everything they need. Do they need any training? are they fulfilling their KPIs? That's one element of it. And then obviously I've got an element of it of creating the relationships to build the business and sales. I generally have never had a salesperson. We've always grown organically with referrals. Um, so I made the decision to bring in a social media marketing person who will in time become the sales revenue, one of the sales pipeline. And then I've got the accounts as well to be on top of the P&Ls, the costings, making sure the business decisions are are correct and the processes within the business are smooth. We've just invested in a Zoho bespoke system, onboarding system for our cleaners and a CRM. It's a whole big package, but that's taken up a lot of my time. And just bringing on new people. As I said, my social marketing, they take time to train. So that's my basically my role within a day to day.
And so you're doing outbound. Are you getting yourself out there, going to network events, trying to build a pipeline, or are you dependent or reliant on inbound referrals from existing clients?
So both. So I do networking. I'm not doing as much networking as I can, as I want to. I've come to the realization, I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but once again, I make a decision. I'm putting a lot out there on social media.
Yeah.
And that is basically networking to thousands of people rather than a room of 100 people.
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of these networking events that people have just over my years of doing a lot of networking, from BNI to, I don't know, to these big lunches to once a month, to you come across a lot of people that, just say it bluntly, are there for social.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a family, I've got kids. If I want to socialize, I'm going to come home and spend time with my kids and my wife. You know what I mean? And that's what I found a lot of the time with networking. They've always got their person that they're going to give business to. And it becomes a lot more social rather than my working day. I want to make it working. So I've gone down on my networking, and I've gone up on my inverted commas networking on social media. So we're posting every day on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Both LinkedIn's the company page and my page. I've got 13,000 people on my LinkedIn, and we're growing all of them to grow the brand. And I think that's 10 times better than networking at the moment. So yeah, that's just me. I might be totally wrong, but at the moment, that's the way I'm feeling.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, if it's working for you, then
Yeah.
it's working for you.
I'm still measuring it. It's not. I can't say it's 100% working for me. I've had some very good relationships from actual physical networking.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of contracts from there, but let's see.
Yeah. Okay. And so you talked earlier about you getting on top of the profit and loss. You're from an accounting background. I'm interested in this because I'm a fractional CFO, fractional FD.
Yeah.
So do you have a process where you review the numbers every month? You have a way to see what's working, what's not working in the business, and use that to make data-driven decisions? Or how do you kind of make decisions for the business?
It's reviewing it each month. I've got a great bookkeeper, and everything is it's usually the mid to beginning of the next month that everything's completed. We pay on the 5th, so we're talking probably about the 10th. Everything's done for the last month. So a quick review where we're holding, and that sort of thing. Obviously, when it comes to payroll, so I do payroll as well. Takes me a few hours. It's always it's a few hours. It's a few hours at the end of the month, but then it also enables me to review what people. I do have that information, but it's always good to go over it. The fact that what we're charging against what we're doing. So and just checking that people aren't doing more than they should be doing, and that sort of thing. But it's generally a P&L tells you the full story of what's happening, where expenses, where we could cut down. And proposals. So some proposals can take me quite some time. So yeah, it's predominantly that. I mean, it's within the cleaning industry. Like I get hacked from, what I mean, cleaning supplies. Now, what they don't realize is the cleaning supplies is a very, very,
What do you mean you get hacked?
like, people constantly buy off me, buy off me, buy off me. The cleaning solutions, you've got hundreds of companies out there. I've got the best solution for you. The bio this, sustainability this. And at the end of the day, um, it's much more important for me to be efficient on my staffing. I'll save a lot more than on the amount I'm spending on cleaning supplies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On my van rounds, my insurance is far superior compared to cleaning supplies.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I am looking at on the P&L as well on a month-to-month basis. I don't believe I'm going to save that much if I go to a cleaning supplier. Cleaning supplies person 2 doors away.
Yeah.
It's not going to be create a difference on the bottom line.
Yeah. Does this what percentage of your overall cost does payroll make? Probably 80-90% of it, right?
It's about 70. Yeah. 70,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. And so what are your plans for the future? What's the goal in terms of the business?
The goal is contracts. I really want to grow. The goal of the business is to be able to afford a bid writer. I want to get into tenders. I feel that's the way forward. Also get a salesperson on the road, get your offices that need 2-3 hours a day. Those excite me as well. To just grow, build the value of the business for the end game, even though I have no idea when the end game will be, because to be honest with you, I can't imagine a day that I don't have an office to go into. I'm one of those. And yeah, just grow, look after the family. I've got 3 lovely boys and a wife. That's also lovely. Yeah, just give them the best life, invest, all these type of things excite me. People ask me, do I have a goal? Just to grow. I don't like standing still.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell.
And so have you got more specific goals for the business, whether that be financial, number of contracts, number of employees, whatever that looks like?
I've always wanted to, I've always wanted to hit over 200 employees.
Okay.
There is the statistic about there's only 7,000 companies, I think, or 7,000 companies that have 200 plus employees. So I'd love to be one of those.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't know, I've said it before and I've had some backlash on it. But I like hearing the number of employees increasing.
Yeah.
Because I believe if you're employing more people, you're making more money.
Yeah.
It may be totally wrong, but I always tell my mates that you want to build a business that you're employing somebody to do work that you can charge out double, triple, 4 times. And that's the way you make real money. So if I'm increasing cleaners, I'm obviously increasing contracts, increasing bottom line and that sort of stuff. So for me, I like hearing the amount of cleaners going up and up and up.
Yeah. And how have you managed to grow without sacrificing margins too much? Because it's very easy to just hire. And obviously that means, if revenue's growing, then naturally that can result in much thinner profit margins.
So it's not really yes and no, as in a sense of your area. I've got my fixed costs, and I don't believe any of them will increase as such. With regards to cleaning contracts, yes, the profit margins on cleaning contracts have lowered, just the affordability in the world we're living in. So you used to be able to make 15% on a large contract bottom line, and now you're looking towards the 10 mark. And you could even go lower than 10, you're looking at 8-9%. But it's with regards you charge £19 an hour, £20 an hour, and you're paying your cleaner $12.60 an hour, and that's costing you about 14-15, and you've got a few bits in between. So you generally are making, yes, sometimes you're not making as much as you should be, but once you get to a certain position, you can just fold it into your own business, and the other fixed costs in inverted commas won't really be affected. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What I was getting at was obviously, if you are forecasting that you're going to do more revenue because you've signed a new contract, it's very easy to hire onto payroll. Something happens to revenue, which means that the increased payroll is then going to eat away at your profit margin. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I'm only when it comes to hiring, it's hiring cleaners. So I'm not necessarily hiring office staff. So if I don't have the contract, I'm not paying the cleaners.
If you lose the contract,
I don't pay the cleaners.
Oh, I see. Right. So they're only a variable cost.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Correct. So yes, with regards to my office staff, the current 5, I can grow exponentially now and not really increase my office staff as such. It's just basically copy and paste. I've got all the processes, all the systems in place. I'm paying for them now. Yeah. I've got them all fixed so they don't cost me if I do increase by 50 staff. So yeah, that is an advantage of being in the service industry game. Like if I do lose a contract, I'm losing the profit of it. Yes, it's hard, but I'm not losing the full revenue because 70% of it is wage.
Exactly. Yeah. Good. All right, Neil. Well, we'll make it very easy for anyone who listens to this who wants to get in touch with you to contact you. But who are you looking for an introduction to? If anyone's listening to this who might be able to support you or might want your support.
So there's two types. Obviously, schools. So we do about 12, 13 schools at the moment. So we are looking for schools. We know how to deal with them. We know what their requirements are. So any site managers or front of office house that are making the calls on school and cleaning contracts and want to be looked after, we find that a lot of them aren't looked after. And also commercial management companies, so people that are managing commercial property in anywhere. Sometimes they're doing large office blocks, so the communals need quite a few hours a day. Generally, a lot of the time we'll get the communal cleaning and then we'll branch out to the offices, so it's quite helpful. So that's predominantly a lot of the work that we do in and around Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds. That's where I employ the cleaners. I do have contacts down south, up north, that I do subcontract to and I have very good relationships with. It's not ideal, I know, but it's something that we can facilitate.
Brilliant. Okay, Neil. Well, pleasure to have you on the podcast as a guest. Much appreciated. Thank you for sharing those insights. And like I said, we'll make it very easy for anyone who wants to get in touch with you to do so. So Neil Fagelman, Merco, Facilities Management. Thanks, Neil.
Thank you, Tom. Take care. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. As I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, this podcast was created to celebrate the success stories of 7-figure business owners, giving them a platform to share their insights and lessons learned in order to inspire other business owners. As well as that, it's an opportunity to build new connections. So if you're a 7-figure business owner or someone who works with 7-figure business owners and you're looking for introductions to potential stakeholders, strategic partners and clients, I'd love to hear from you or have you on as a guest and see if I can help make those connections for you. Just go to synergycfosolutions.co. That's synergycfosolutions.co and click podcast. On that page, you'll find the link to apply.